finally, after all this time, after all the talk about unifying the belts, they finally did it. We finally have a new belt. Kinda. This is the night after SummerSlam. This isn't the night after SummerSlam. This is actually done on a Tuesday. But I am talking about Monday Night Raw, which was the night after SummerSlam. Guys, so many things have happened on SummerSlam, and they were actually going to wrap it all up as much as they can in a nice, pretty little bow. Even though some things didn't turn out in a pretty bow, but they did their best. But I will say this: the opener really was pretty good. You gotta enjoy Stephanie and the Steph, Steph, Steph shirt, which is another shirt that I'm actually thinking about buying. Well, actually, I am thinking about buying that shirt and Bree's Bree Mode shirt. I'm seriously thinking about buying those two shirts because they're awesome. But besides all that, it was nice to actually see Stephanie come out there doing yes, 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 yes. I thought it was awesome. But people were like, Steph, Steph, Steph. Stephanie has so much heat on her. Not only heat, she had cheers. Like, people were literally cheering for her and saying her name like on her shirt. I thought it was pretty cool. Stephanie is probably one of the best heels, the best female heels I have seen in a while. The best female heel without wrestling training. And she literally took it to Brie last night. Well, the night before. On Sunday night, she really did take it to Brie. But Brie took it back. It was a pretty good Divas match. And it really did help out the Divas division a lot. It's actually, that's what it was supposed to do. But besides all that, it was great to have Stephanie come out there for the opener to talk about what happened on Sunday night and about all the matches, the winners, and also about her win against Brie Bella. But the biggest thing that pretty much scratched everyone's head was Nikki Bella and why she did what she did. Now, we all saw for many, many months that Nikki Bella was tormented by Stephanie day in, day out to get back at Brie. And all we saw was Brie defending her sister. So her reasoning behind why she did it didn't have any rhyme or reason to it. But either or, they had to find a way to go. I mean, they just couldn't go in a standard direction saying, well, she kind of paid me. It would make sense just to say that, well, you kind of threatened me with my job and I will lose my job if I didn't do it. Or it just seemed like that would be the way to go. But honestly, on the night of SummerSlam, when she actually did it, she didn't look comfortable. She didn't look comfortable betraying her sister. She didn't look comfortable going heel in her sister's expense. And it seemed like that she really did. It just really wasn't comfortable for her. Even during that promo, she tried to work it. She tried to work it as best she can. But like any twin, any identical twin, it will make you uncomfortable. And it's a given that that Nikki just didn't like it. Like, it's not the fact she's not comfortable in being a heel. She's just not comfortable in being a heel towards her sister. And you can tell that that's not really a great way to go, but somehow she got to work it. She got to figure it out. She got to keep on doing it. And with Brie, Brie was trying to cry crocodile tears, and it was pretty much what it was, a croc. But she tried. She did her best, and honestly, it's going to be an interesting feud moving on. And the backstage pass, you didn't really have a chance to watch that, but I do know that I wouldn't be surprised they're going to ham it up. But still, it was a pretty interesting way to go out for the beginning. Some of our questions are somewhat answered, but either or, I am interested to see how they're going to progress with this feud because they really need it. The Divas division really needs it badly. Speaking of Divas, let's talk about Paige and AJ Lee. Honestly, I have given up trying to figure out these two girls. And besides that, I'm tired of the whole frenemies angle. I really do want Paige to be a straight up heel. Because let's be real, WWE is not going to allow their characters or their wrestlers to be different characters. They're not going to allow them to be an anti-hero, a frustrated face, or what have you. It's either a face or a heel. So in that case, just be a heel. Just strictly be a heel. Be like, Paige, AJ, I don't like you. I never liked you. I want my belt back, and I'm glad I got it back, and you got to fight for it to get it back. Like, just be a heel. Straight up. don't be a friend of me. And then you got this whole AJ thing, like, I love you. And I'm like, no, please, enough with the friend of me crap. Please, just beat each other down in the ring. I don't care if you're black and blue. Just beat each other down in the ring. But either or, it's two heels going against each other. I don't care about that. It is something freaking different. So I'm not going to really complain about that at all. But I am going to say this. Enough with the friend of me angle. Can we please end this at Survivor Series? Please. Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, I don't care. I just want it ended. And just y'all to be enemies. And Lord knows how long AJ Lee's going to be there before she dips out. But let's move on to a few more matches that were there. We end up seeing Dolph Ziggler defend his title against The Miz. The Miz end up losing his title at SummerSlam, which is actually pretty cool. And he actually defended it again in a rematch on Raw. Yeah, but either or, Dolph Ziggler is pretty injured and banged up from SummerSlam, and I think they're going to actually extend this a little bit more. I don't know how far the feud is going to go. If Dolph Ziggler is really injured, they may go in a different direction. But I don't know what they're going to do with The Miz. But as usual, The Miz is always going to find his way to come back. And he's going to get in where he fits in, where he don't fits in. But let's see where it goes from there. Either or, I really wasn't all that interested in the match. Even though these guys have great chemistry in the ring and they can tell a great story, in my opinion, the story ended at SummerSlam. So where can they go from here? And so after seeing that match, I didn't really care much about it because I felt like it was concluded at SummerSlam. So they need to come up with a whole new angle to get interest. Because in my case, I didn't care. But the one match that I actually did care about was really not a match, but it was more of a confrontation. Or more of butting heads, if you will. Mark Henry and Rusev. About freaking time. Like, seriously, they chose the right guy for this. They already had Big E, and Big E made more sense because he was the same size, same build, had the same fighting techniques as Rusev. And they actually trained together in NXT. So it made sense for them to actually be the feud. But what did they do? They made him some kind of, they turned him into a preacher man. And then all of a sudden, Big E is like gone, like that. And then you have the most racist character in the WWE universe coming out and defending our country in the name of America, seeing how his whole character was trying to import every single person from other countries out of this place to defend the U.S. Gets his butt handed to him at SummerSlam. And now you got, finally, Mark Henry to take over. Like, Mark Henry is the biggest dog in the yard. Like, it's about time. Like, this dude is a dog that can tear you limb from limb, can rip your throat out and just leave you bleeding. Like, seriously, Mark Henry was the dude to do this. And he's the bigger dude. He's the biggest dog in the yard to take out Rusev. About time. I am hoping they actually will allow this feud to happen because Mark Henry is the man. So I really do want this to happen, and I hope they don't mess this up and go on another direction because it would absolutely work if they keep Mark Henry there. But honestly, y'all, I didn't really care about any other matches. Sure, we had the Dust Brothers in a match. Yay, looking for the Cosmic Key. Okay, girl, great. But the match of the night for me, personally, was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in a match of the WWE Universe's choice, Falls Count Anywhere. Awesome match. Just like the match of the Lumberjack match that didn't disappoint, in my opinion, it really wasn't boring. The Falls Count Anywhere match was not boring either. And of course, Kane had to get involved. But even though Kane gets on my nerves, and I wish he was not there, I will say that I am happy that it didn't go over cleanly. Because that means this feud is going to be extended and it's going to continue. And I'm hoping that'll be the case. Seriously, I'm hoping that'll be the case because this was a great match to watch. Very entertaining. And even though everybody said, oh my gosh, he took it too far, his career's over because he put his head in cinder blocks. We all know that it wasn't cinder blocks. We all know that it just wasn't. Because cinder blocks cannot break that easily for a little old foot from Seth Rollins. Like, Seth Rollins has the tiniest of tiny feet. Well, not really tiny, but either or, no man is that strong to break a cinder block like a piece of chalk. Well, we all know that wasn't the case. But anyway, let's move on from there. I will say that that was a great match, and I'm happy that it ended that way because it actually will extend on to the next Raw. So, or maybe on SmackDown, who knows? But this is probably one of the best feuds that I have seen in a while. Yay, grade A. But the best segment of the night, the moment that everybody has been waiting for. We finally got a belt, an actual unified belt for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. They're finally put together, y'all. John Cena's not going to hang it around his neck anymore because he's not the champ. Either or, it's one belt. It's the same belt, but it's one belt. There's nothing really special about this belt. It's the same belt, just with the WWE Network logo on it. That's the only difference. It's just a little sharper. That's all. But either or, I'm happy that they unify the belts. And I will say that Paul Heyman, of course, was the talker of the night. Like he usually is. Paul Heyman was the freaking talker of the night. He literally made Brock Lesnar like an even bigger beast than he already is. And that means that he is doing his job. And that was one of my favorite segments of the night. Seriously, straight up. And I love the fact that they actually unified the belts because it doesn't look like a gaudy monstrosity with having one belt around your neck and one belt around your waist. Thank you finally for unifying the belts after Lord knows how many months. But honestly, y'all, my overall thoughts is this. I absolutely have no problems with the show. There were a few moments that scratched my head, like the whole Nikki Bella thing. I am happy that they unified the belts. It's just it's not different. It's not as wowing like it was. I thought it was going to be a beast belt. I thought that Brock Lesnar was going to have his own customized beast belt. I really want that beast belt. But they didn't get the beast belt. It's the same old shtick. Oh well. But either or, I really did enjoy this Raw. It really wasn't disappointing. It wasn't all that boring. And I really thought it was a pretty great Raw, especially after SummerSlam. I just hope they continue these feuds and make these feuds decent and don't ruin it towards the very end. Because like I said many, many times before, they can't afford to mess up. They need to do better. But y'all, I want to hear your overall thoughts of this. Leave a comment in the comment section below and send me a video response on your personal thoughts about this past Raw. And what do you think should be improved if you have any ideas? It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. Later.